Alright, so let's review the questions that we entered yesterday. I have some questions right here to review, and we are going to put some music here. Let's see. Hallows victim, false magic propaganda. That sounds interesting. Oh, it's an. Damn! Dirty sound magnet, insomnia. Let's see. Private? Oh no, it's okay. It's right. Not much information about the band. Okay, bio. They're from impressive shows from era, UK and Mexico. 3 studio albums. They're from Switzerland. Nice. Okay, chill out. Okay, now let's see. I have done. I'll start from here. This challenge will require you to calculate the print the sum of the elements in an array. Keep in mind that those integers may be quite long. So, sum the elements of an array. Oh, the answer is already here. Is there a way to reset it? Breaking records. Solved. We want to review what we already. Very big sum. Okay, so let's delete it and write it again. Oh yeah, I can just press here and reset the code. Nice. So it's asking us to calculate the sum of the elements of an array. It is simple. They can be long, so it will be a long. I'm liking it. I'm liking the music so far. So it will be long. Result equals 0 for num in R. It will be long. Result plus equal num and return result. Run code. Okay, it passed the first test. Passed the 2 test scenarios. Okay, we can now go to the next challenge. Birthdays cake. Okay, this one I have not solved yet, so we're not going to the next challenge. We're going to review diagonal difference. Reset code. So when we are talking about decimals in this array, I remember this challenge. So we're going to sum the first element of the first line, the second element of the second line, and the third element of the third line with the last element of the first line, the second last element of the second line, and the third last element of the third line. We're summing those guys, and we have this difference, and it will be our result, and it will be returned. So we have a result, int result, it will be 0, and we're going to return it. All right, we got a list of integers. Since we're going to mess with use the index, I guess it's a good idea for us to use a for loop instead of for each loop. Int I equals 0, I will be less than the r dot size, which is a list. I'm confusing, I'm mistaking lists for arrays. They're not the same thing. As they might look similar, they're different. And I plus plus. So we'll have the int first the diagonal is going to sum is going to be 0. And the second diagonal sum, second diagonal sum, I'm really enjoying that band, that song. They're from Switzerland, right? Captivating Switzerland. Yes, they're from Switzerland. They're nice. Their song is sweet. First diagonal sum. First diagonal sum will be summed by the r dot get index I, and we're getting the line, and we don't want to get, we're getting the line but not the element. We can get the element by doing get dot get. We're summing with the get dot get, so we'll be first line first element, second line second element, third line third element. Guess we don't need that result right here. We can like math.abs first diagonal sum minus second diagonal sum. And okay, we'll get the line, but instead of getting the first element of the first line, we're getting the last element, the second last element, and the third last element. R dot size minus 1 minus I, and will be the second diagonal sum. Let's run the code and see if that works. Okay, first test passed, and passed all the test cases, so reviewed. We just finished that one. Diagonal difference, so plus minus, we did it yesterday. Reset code. Nice, I really like the band. Now let's see what other band do we got here. El Coyote. They're from Mexico or Spain? Not much information about them, except Spotify, Deezer, Facebook, Instagram. grandeur et décadence. Coyote. I think they're from a Spanish country because the name of their band is in Spanish. Typically, it's not exclusively, but typically, there, it's the French. Okay, now this was totally unexpected. They're French. Okay, so given an array of integers, calculate the ratios of its elements. There are positive, negatives, and zeros. Okay, so that was the one I was struggling with the float conversion. So I know that since it's a broken number, we can get it as a float, even though it's an integer list. We can get it from float. Uh, zeros equals 0. Positives, negatives, for num are int zeros. Okay, so if num greater than 0, their song is nice, is exotic. I never thought I would listen to rock in French. I liked it. But I don't understand very well what they're saying because I don't speak French, of course. But listening to music that you don't understand the lyrics is part of being a Brazilian. Like we were born, we grow up listening to music that we don't even know what it means. And so I'm perfectly okay with that. Okay, num is greater than 0, then positives, plus plus, uh, negatives, and zeros, less than 0 equals and now we need to print the ratio. They just need to be printed. So south r dot size positives divided by r dot size negatives and zeros. Okay, it passed, but we're getting the same problem that we had yesterday. We're going to be printf. Okay, now I don't remember how I did the decimal places. I know it's with printf. I'm gonna try to remember. I guess it's percentage s for f I remember there's an F. Maybe that. I will save this band because if I want to, let's say, if I want to learn French, I may use their music as helping material. And this one I remember. Nope. Okay, it worked, but I didn't said how much decimal spaces I wanted. I just said that I wanted to print a float, not the amount of decimal spaces. Let's see. Printf Java decimal places. Oh, it's percentage dot percentage dot. I knew it had a percentage. I knew it had an F, but I didn't. What I didn't know is that I can. It was 6 decimal places. So 6 decimal places. Okay, let's test another case. 2 decimal places. Yeah, like it worked because I had 2 decimal places and it rounds up. But this one is this type, this form of doing is right. Maybe I'll need to review it later. But okay, nevertheless, we passed the test cases. Okay, now it's remember me a lot of System of a Down. Hey man, look at me, rock it up, I'm on the radio. It's that music. That music, I guess it's radio the name. Yeah, radio video the name of that System of a Down's song. Reset code, staircase detail. So this is a staircase of size n equals 4. Okay, so it's that staircase. So we'll have the amount of spaces equals to. Actually, no. 4 int spaces will be equal to n and n will be greater or equals to 0 and n minus minus. The int amount of hashtags, amount of spaces, and amount of hashtags will be equals to n so it will start Okay, so let's see. Amount of spaces will be 4. So we don't have a case where we have 4 spaces and no hashtags. So it can be -1. It will be so the n minus the amount of spaces, the amount of hashtags. Collection dot collections dot, there's a class right here where I can like create n copies. That's the one. The number of elements in the returned list. So does it return something? Yeah, it returns a list of string. I guess we can do it with char collections spaces in staircase, and copies it will be amount of hashtags, the amount of spaces, and we'll repeat the space character, and we're going to have the hashtags in staircase collections, amount of hashtags in these staircase. Now we need, okay, now no, it's not the amount of spaces but the amount of hashtags. And now we need to join them and render them as string. So south, we're going to have result list chars result be equals to new list char and yeah, I had that same. We cannot instantiate the type list char, but it can instantiate the list string, right? Array list. Okay. Now we need to result dot add all. Can I add all? Spaces in staircase. Hashtags in staircases. Result dot join. Wait. Yeah, it's not working. Instantiating a list Java. Why am I doing wrong? Because this. Oh, it lists is an interface that it cannot be instantiated directly. So I was doing right when I was doing the array list. But what I found strange is how Oh, it was not complaining about an incorrect code. Maybe it's something with the compiler, the precompiler. Cannot find symbol char. Okay, so it will be string. No problem. This character, so it's not char, it's character. Character. Now it's working. Now it's at least showing. Is undefined of type as all result dot let's try to get the same error as before. Choose string. -1. Okay, amount of spaces will be n plus -1. I guess we can do it the other way. Plus. Oh! I was doing the amount of space in the n instead of the amount of spaces. Okay, now it worked. I was doing it right just... now... I just need to join those guys together and turn it to string. We did this last as to array dot join yeah, why I can't use the join method? I guess it's because it's arrays dot join. No, it's collections dot join dot reverse order. Join arrays dot join. I guess it's not join, I guess it's union. Result dot union. Let's see what methods that we got here. Substring, string, set, remove, delete, iterator, get to string size, retain all, is empty, index of, hash code, contains, to array, wait, notify, replace, sort, clear, add, string, set, remove, iterator, get class, to string. No, I guess it's not. Collections. New set from map, singleton, reverse, add all, replace all, check empty enumerator, empty map, empty set, list max and copies set from singleton. I could swear we had hash code equals d copy. What? Java Join two arrays into a string. No, that's not what I saw yesterday. Java join two arrays. Wait. Result dot to string dot join. Yeah, it's a string method. It was not array method. It was a string method. Join, no delimiter, and the elements will be in the result. Let's test it, and it will get an error. Why? Type string is not applicable to the argument. String list of characters. Char sequence. It's because it's a char. Invalid character concept. Char sequence. Join. Can I do something like, no, we can't. I guess it's complaining because of the character type. We'll have to turn it into this guy right here. A string instead of characters. Okay, now it stopped complaining. Passed. Submit code, let's see. Passed all the test cases, so this question is reviewed. How much time? Half an hour. Okay, we can go to the, I guess that staircase. Yeah, we have now the minimax. The minimax question. Borracho. Okay, let's go play this guy right here. Blurring the Lines of Reality. Full album 2023. Transcend boundaries, band combining classic, doom, and progressive rock from a signature song that's resonated with fans since the formation over 15 years ago. Spent decades, bands like Black Sabbath, Mountain, Stone Jams, and Fu Shampoo, Manchu, High on Fire. Washington, D.C. Okay, sounds good. Now let's go to the minimax exercise, minimax sum exercise. Like I said before, we are going to sort this guy out. First thing we need to do is to sort. Arrays.sort R. No, it's collections. Collections.sort R.sort R for int interval is going to be 4. They're asking for the 4 last and the 4 first. 4 int I will be equals to 0. I will be greater than interval. No, sorry, it's going to be less. Turn it down a little bit. It's going to be less than the interval, and I with plus plus, we're going to increase it. And now for the first, the minimum int minimum equals 4, int maximum equals 0 also. So we're going to get R I minimum plus equals R dot get I. And for the maximum, R dot get R dot size minus 1 minus I. Dot size minus 1 minus I. So for the first test it will work. I remember for the first test it will work, but for the second it will not. Print f s minimum maximum. Okay, as I said, for the first test it worked because it was already sorted, but this one's not sorted, so it did not work. So we just need to sort the array. Sort comparer collections okay, I guess I'm not going to remember sort list. Collections.sort. Yeah, I tried the collections.sort, but why did this collections.sort? Why it's not working? Collections.sort. R. Oh, it was just because it doesn't. I didn't give it an argument. I was right at first. I just didn't give it an argument. Okay. Now it's passing. Okay, 40 minutes. Yeah, exactly 40 minutes. Exactly 40 minutes, and we reviewed all the questions that we had last night. So, thank you guys for watching. Oh no, it's failing. It's passing some, but not passing. Oh yeah, I remember. Now I remember. It may be. It's because it may be a long number. It may be a long number, so yeah. Now it passed. Okay, never mind. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and yeah, we reviewed all the questions from last night. I'm going to take a 5-10 minutes break, and I'm going back to study a little bit more.